So before I make too many videos, I just kind of like to explain how I got here, how I began to follow this path. And, I will say um, my family was Christian. Um, my mom's side of the family was Baptist, fundamental Baptist. They believed in what was written in the King James Version of the Bible was the literal truth. Um, that's kind of honestly what pushed me away from Christianity a bit, was that I could not see in my head, could not justify that everything in there was the literal truth. Um, and that kind of pushed me away. Over time, I started developing bad habits in life. And then I started to follow more of that atheist and even very aggressive, kind of militant almost atheist, where I thought I had to prove everybody wrong in their religion, and tell the world why religion was bad. Um, but I began to realize that that wasn't really what I truly believed either. That I knew something was out there. I just was kind of rebelling from Christianity, which is something I no longer feel the need to do. Um, but, along my path of finding spirituality, religion, whatever, um, I looked into Buddhism. I tried to follow down into that, but something just wasn't quite right there for me. Um, and then I just into a point in life where I was trying to improve my situation, do better in life, but I still was struggling. And one evening, and this is where people will say that's not true, whatever. Doesn't bother me. Believe me, don't believe me, it's fine. It's real to me. Um, I was sitting in my garage, and I had a vision, a hallucination, whatever you want to call it, a visitation, by something that I perceived as being a older, elderly being, and it basically told me to quit being a bitch, to get my life together, and that the path of spirituality that I needed to be on was one of self improvement and succeeding. Not making excuses but making solutions. And so it had a conversation with me. It instructed me. Um, and it said a lot more non-verbally than it did verbally, but it never told me its name. But I knew, like, something in my head was like, it just told me, like, I'm Odin. And I had no clue about any of that mythology tales. I knew about as much as what's in a Marvel movie, and that was it. Um, and so when this happened to me, I was of no interest in cartoon gods. Like, that wasn't something I ever saw myself believing in. Um, but after that visitation, then I said, okay, that was real. That was real. Something just contacted me. Odin just contacted me. I don't know anything about Odin. Now I have to find out, like, what's going on. I started doing some online research. I ended up purchasing a Poetic, a Prosetta, several other books, which I read all the time now. Um, and that just put me on the path that I'm on now. And everything made sense. Everything jived. It felt right. everything about it was what I knew I was missing. Um, since then, I've just been a better person. My life's getting better um, all the time. I've turned numerous things in my life around, and I can tell, I owe it to Odin in that visitation. And beyond that, very early on, I began to receive runes as answers to things that were questions that I would have in my mind. As I was out in nature, I would be presented with runes. I can go more into that later. Um, and so I started to learn about the runes. Like all this I was learning about as it was happening to me. And I was having to learn about it because it was happening to me. And and that's just led me to where I'm at today. I don't say that everything I believe is right, or it's the only way, yada yada. But I'm just telling. I just wanted to explain to people like how I got here and why I believe the things I do. Um, a lot of it just comes from self knowledge and experience, and the things I've put together then through research that compounds upon the things that have been happening to me. Um, and yeah, so just wanted to throw that out there, kind of explain how I got here. Like I say, it wasn't a choice. I wasn't trying to be some edge lord going down and just believing in something pagan or different because I wanted to be edgy. It just happened to me. And now I also don't feel the need, though, to really bash on other religions or things. I don't necessarily believe there's one path to get to the same place. And I think there's things in a lot or all of the tales, myths, legends, and spiritual texts that might be useful in your journey. So, now I might look at something from the Bible. I might look at something from the Vedic texts. I might, I've noticed that there's a lot of things that can contribute to my knowledge. I just know as I follow my path, it seems like the beings, the gods that have spoken to me, have been speaking to me, have come through the form of what we would generally identify as the Norse or Germanic pantheons. And that's why, I'm on this path, and that's why I wear the Mjolnir, and, that's just what's guided my beliefs and my life since it's happened. And for me, that's the truth. But yeah, anyway, just wanted to share that before I make any more videos, just so you get a little background on how I got here and why maybe I see things a certain way and whatnot. So I hope y'all have a great day, and I'm out on the rest of my hike.